Hey, what's up guys? Back with another stream. This time we're in FSEconomy. One of my favorite things to do is fly in FSEconomy, lots of fun. And we're making our way across the United States to get my SR20 LAX. First, hello to everyone in the chat, guys. Joppy, Mima, Pujaman, everyone else, thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Been in the streaming of the Gold Rush. I had about graphics card. I wanted to know something. You think about 1070? Oh, the 1070 should be fine, Joppy. That's a great 1070 should be fine for X-Plane. Especially if it's in 2D. If it's in VR, it should be okay. Because, you know, VR you have the headset and stuff to worry about, but 1070 is a solid card, so that should be just fine. So anyway, appreciate you guys joining the stream today. We're all about X-Plane 11. We're all about FSEconomy and questions about VR and stuff like that. I'd be happy to answer questions about VR if you guys have any. So we're going to. What I've done here is, let's see. I've kind of mapped out. Let me show you what I've done. Well, first, let me give you an update on my FSEconomy stuff, because I've had a good week with the Beechcraft King Air, which, by the way, is for sale. $925,000 if you want to buy it. But take a look at this guy. Had a boatload of flights on it this week, which is nice. So made a little bit of money with that. Up to $111,000. I've got it on sale for $925 if you want to buy that. It's a great plane because it's a stock plane in X-Plane 11, and being a stock plane in X-Plane 11, it's you know, it makes it easy for people to rent because they have it if they have X-Plane. So and I keep it at Charlotte right now. It's at 13NC, but I'll be taking it back to Charlotte if it doesn't go back there itself. I like to keep it there. So anyway, that's for sale, and of course this is my Cirrus, which right now I'm in Independence. Let's take a look at that. So, oops, sorry, wrong flip here. Actually, let me just do something here. Let's check it out. That way I can see what you guys are saying. How long this flight will probably be? It's going to be about 238 miles, so probably about 2 hours, maybe a little bit more. So yeah, so that's we're going to break it up a little bit, a couple of stops. So let me just show you what I've done here is I've mapped out from where I am now in Independence a flight plan to get me from Independence right here to Las Vegas, Karen in Las Vegas, and from there I'm going to figure out how I'm going to go. But I'm not going to fly this 1,000-mile journey today. What we're going to do is we're going to fly from Independence to KGCK. And I'll show you that. So this is about 230 miles, and then I'm going to be breaking this trip up. But this is likely the route that I'm going to take to get to Las Vegas. So I just wanted to show you guys that. But today, we're starting at Independence, because that's where my Cessna is. So I need to rent my Cessna. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing Gold Rush live now, but I'm doing X-Plane 11. Probably be doing Gold Rush tonight, and going to be doing a big cleanup in Gold Rush. But today it's all about X-Plane 11. But I appreciate you joining. So I'm going to rent my Cirrus here. Here we go. So we got that. And my first trip is going to be to 9 or K8. If I look down here, I've got sort of this way. 9 or K8, so I can pick up 3 passengers there. Why am I doing X-Plane in VR? Because it's awesome. X-Plane in VR is awesome. It's like you're in the cockpit. It's unbelievable. I've been flying X-Plane 11 in VR for, I don't know, at least maybe 9 months, a year, close to a year. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what time yet, Kujiman. Not sure what time yet. probably around 10 o'clock Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern, around there. All right, so I'm going to add these 3 assignments, and so those should be good. Let me just want to do one thing here. Let me get my FSEconomy up and look at my flight, so I just make sure. I've got my plane rented. This is my current flight. Just leave that over here. I got my plane rented, 16 gallons. I'm going to have to probably put a little gas. I got 3 passengers going at K, 9K, 8. All right, so that's good. So we can kind of get rid of... do I need that? Yeah, no, I don't need this now. So I'm good there. And at 9K, 8, I don't have anything to take me to the next stop, which is Dodge City. All right, so I'm just going to be doing, this is Kingman Municipal. So I'll just be doing a blank no passenger flight to Dodge City. That's I think it's 88 miles, something like that. And then Dodge City, I've got, I could pick up 3 passengers and fly them 37 miles and pick up about $1,800. So we're going to do that and just add that to the pile here. All right, so that's going to be Dodge City, and then JCK, that's where we're going to be bedding down and putting down. And right now I don't have a flight selected to go to the next stop, but we'll figure that out the next episode. So that's going to be my flight today. So if you take a look at this, I've got about $4,000. Now I don't have to pay for rental because I own the plane, gas and crew fees and all that. I'll probably make around $3,800, somewhere around there. So not bad, and should be good. So as far as gas goes, let's see. So I've got 230 miles total. So let's just go through 3 passengers each way. So calculate that, and then we're going to go to say 240. Oops. This is just a rough calculation. So it says we're going to need 16 gallons. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to refuel to, what's the cheapest owner? I'm going to just refuel to 35. Why not? I'm going to use the gas anyway. Actually, yeah, let's just put 40 in there. What the hell? All right, we'll refuel to 40. Now we got 40 gallons. Only cost us $100 for the 24 gallons to add, and probably have enough for definitely for this flight and then for further on down the road. So that should be good. Do I only fly in the Cirrus? No, I fly in multiple planes. I fly in I like the Cessna 172 with the SimCoders REP, which is the reality expansion pack. That's a cool plane. I also fly the Coronado B1900D, which is a bigger twin prop turbo passenger plane. It flies about 19 people. That's the way I made a lot of money in FSEconomy. I fly that plane. I've got a Seminole that I fly. I've got, well, let me show you. I can probably show you the planes I like to fly. Give me 1 second here. Go to X plane. And let me just skip to this. And let me go to the main menu. Oops. That's not what I want. Current flight. I go to flight configuration. Okay, you can see here. I'll show you the planes that I have. So aside from the stock stuff, I've got the B1900D. I've got the Seneca V, which is a Coronado plane. I like that plane. It's a little slow on frame rates, but I do like it. I've got the Skyhawk REP, which is these are the planes I kind of fly the most. Okay? I also fly the King Air C90 quite a bit, and of course the Cirrus. And I also fly, I've got the Aerofoil Labs Cessna, which I actually, believe it or not, I like the SimCoders realistic expansion pack better. Okay, I've got let's see, what are the other add-on planes do I have? I do have the Cirrus SR20. That's a dog. It just doesn't, just so slow, and the G1000's awful. I got a Piper Archer. These are from Aerosphere Simulation. They were kind enough to give me an Archer, an Arrow Arrow 4 V-tail, which is nice, or T-tail. And I've got a Piper Seminole from them and a Turbo Seminole. I like this plane, the Seminole, Piper Seminole. This thing's a nice, fast twin-engine plane. I've got a Piper Warrior from, these are all Aerosphere. They were kind enough to give me these planes, which I fly quite a bit. And that's pretty much it for the add-ons. So I'm generally flying, I always fly general aviation, except when I fly the B1900D. And yeah, so that's what I have there. So I find that interesting, but thanks for the question. But anyway, back to this flight. So yeah, thanks, Cedric. I appreciate the subscription, man. Thank you very much. Thanks. So this is going to be the flight of the day, and here's Cedric's subscription. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thanks for subscribing to Bambino Games. If you look at the upper left-hand corner, I've got Flight Plan Go, which is actually on my iPad right here. You can see in the lower screen I'm pointing to my iPad, so I can manipulate that right here, and that's basically where I've got a flight plan entered. If you look here, this is the flight plan that we're doing today. Independence to what is that airport? Garden City. Independence to Garden City, and all our stops in between, and that's going to be our flight for today. What's nice here, though, is I can just pull this up and take a look at the airport if I want to on the sectional chart, or also what I like to do is in my binders, I've got all the airports that I'm going to be flying to today set up and ready to go. Thanks, Jappy. Do you also know how you can install modded airplanes? I haven't done any of that, but I'm sure if you search Google and look on YouTube, you'll find someone who has, and I'm sure they'll be able to show you how to do that. But yeah, that's not something that I really have done. So, Mima, thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thanks. I do. All right, and so these are the airports that we're going to. So you got them right handy here, so you can pull them up and take a look at remarks and frequencies and all that stuff. And most of the airports we're flying into are going to be non-towered today. So that's what we're going to be doing. So anyway, there's my map, so you guys can see. And also on the lower part of the screen, let me just get rid of my. So let me get rid of, so on the lower part of the screen, just to the right of the video cam, it's showing my controls. This is my flight stick right here, and I'm using these as the throttle. Is the Benny overlay, which gives you my ground speed, airspeed, heading, altitude, and vertical speed. So those are some interesting metrics that you guys might want to see while I'm flying. Kind of cool. And that's pretty much it. So let's get started here. I'm going to try to, once I get in the air, I'm going to try to bring this chat window into the cockpit. Sometimes it causes some problems, but I'm going to try to bring that into the chat, and hopefully that'll work okay. And let's just modify that window a little bit. All right, cool. All right, so you can see we're in the I've got my Cessna here. There's no taxiway to go on here at Independence, so I'm just set up right on the runway here. We're going to do a cold start and get on the way. So I'm going to have to load my flight plan up, and I'm loading up the flight plan that you saw the whole trip, the 1,000-mile trip. But I'm only going to be taking this first segment of it, and we'll just keep that flight plan in and use it as we go. I may have to reload that, but we'll see how that goes. So, in any event, okay, Joppy, yeah, check it out later. That'd be great. Appreciate that. I've got a few things to talk about today, and really looking forward to this flight, so let's get into it. All right. Let me just pause this music here for a little bit while we get things started up. All right, let's get in here. And I'm not going to be able to see chat for a little bit here, guys. All right, let me get myself situated. All right, we got a couple of settings to do here on the. This is the V-Flight Air SR20. I love this plane. Probably my favorite general aviation plane for sure. I really do like it. It's one of my favorites. All right, so okie dokie. So we're all set here. Let's what we're gonna want to do is bring our mixture. Well, let's get our batteries on. Okay, bring our mixture to full, and we'll put our throttle at about 25%. And we want to put our fuel pump to boost. And I have a button set up here to start engine, which is what I'm going to do. So start engine. Beautiful. All right, fuel pump back to on. And we're good to go. So let's get the alternators on, the avionics on. Turn that on, get that going. We want our nav lights, we want our strobe lights. We'll put the landing lights on, and we'll put our pitot heat on. Okay. Don't need icing because I don't think it's only, well, it's 22 Fahrenheit, so it's fine now. Now a couple things I like to do here. First, let's get the transponder squawk and altitude because we're VFR today. Got that going. I like to get this inset in here. Okay, and I like to get the nearest airports in here. Now I can also set a timer if I want to, which is really cool. I found out you could do that, but I'm not going to do that. Nearest airports, and we're good to go. Okay, so we're going to let the plane warm up here a little bit. Let's bring this back to idle. Okay, cool. What kind of city am I going to fly in Hawaii? So the ultimate goal is to get this plane to Honolulu. That's going to be my base. I'm pretty sure that's going to be my base in Hawaii, and for this plane in FSEconomy. And the idea is to rent it out for people that want to fly it there, because there is no SR20 in Hawaii right now. And I love flying in Hawaii. I got Ortho XP set up there, so the visuals are really great. In VR, it looks awesome. And I love flying this plane, and I figured let's have it there, so it's kind of a cool thing to do and fun to do. So yeah, it'll be Honolulu. All right, so while we're warming up here, what I want to do is let's check our checklist. All right, we already start the engine, starting engine. We already did that. Before taxi, flight flaps are up. Radio and avionics, let's set those. So we're going to go to, you guys can look in the upper left-hand corner. We're going to we're at KIDP. We want to be CTAF there, so SETCOM 1 to 123.05.
COM1 set to 123.04.
SETCOM 1 to 123.05.
COM1 set to 123.05.
All right. SETCOM 2 to 118.52.
COM2 set to 118.52.
All right, so that's our ATIS. So that's going to be our CTAF and ATIS, and we'll figure this out here. We're on set 17. So if we're on 17, we're going to be taking off to the west, right? Or we're going to be taking off and departing to the west. All right, and then we'll fly out of the pattern. So that's pretty simple. Let me just look if there's any remarks that we have to worry about. It's a left traffic, so that's good. Well, we're going to be flying to the right, so let's just see. We don't have to worry about any of this stuff. Frequencies are good. Procedures, we don't have to worry. We're not doing any procedures. Okay, good. We're good there. So if you look on this map, actually, if I could bring the airport diagram up, you could see see that little blue plane there? That's us right on the runway, which is kind of cool. So let's go back to the binder, that up, So let's go to the maps. All right, so we got our frequency set, and we're ready to roll. All right, Misa, take care. Thanks for watching. See, radio frequencies are set. Cabin heat, we don't need it. Fuel selector, we'll worry about that once we get FSEconomy. Next will be parking brake. When we disengage, check the brakes. All right, let's check. We'll check the brakes in a second, but let's go outside and let's just check all our flight controls. So we got ailerons are good. We've got elevators are good, and we got rudders that are good. All right, good. That's important. Directional gyro orientation, so 182, and it looks like we're about 182 up there. Altitude gyro. We'll assume that's okay. We're going to check ATIS and make sure our pressure's right. Turn coordinator is good. Okay, and then before takeoff, we'll do all these things, okay? So right now, let's listen to ATIS.
Independence Muni weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 22, dew point -15. Altimeter 2939.
2939, good. Okay, so we're at 828 right now. All right, what I want to do is doors locked. Okay, seatbelts are fastened. Cap locks handle. Let's turn that off.
Wind calm, visibility more.
Caps handle, that's good. That's the parachute system. Seatbelt's good. Fuel quantity, we'll check that with. We're good with that because that's FSEconomy. Selected to the fullest tank. Fuel pump on, which it already is. Flaps will be at 1%. Transponder is set. Autopilot. We'll set that up in this. Well, let's set that up now. So we're going to be going to 1600 elevation, and we don't have any mountains in the way there, so probably want to fly at, I think 3,000 is probably reasonable to fly at. So what we'll do is Aerope, hey, thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate that. Colin, the application I'm using is called Plane Command. If you check, I think it's planecommand.com. It's awesome. It's awesome. All right, so let's check. Let's set our altitude to 3,000. And I'm going to use the autopilot to get us up there. It's just easier. We'll be at 3,000. Now the one thing I have to do is I got to load my flight plan, so let me do that. I go here, FMS plan, this is easy, and now it's loaded, and we'll check that in a second here. Oops. Okay, good. Where's my mouse? Come on, mouse. Come on, mouse. Show up, mouse. All right. Flaps we'll put at 1%. Autopilot, we're good. Navigate. Oh, we want to put our CDI on GPS. Gotta remember to do that. Navigation, radios, that's all check. Cabin heat, we don't need. Brakes are good. Power lever, good. Alternators are on. POT is on. Navigation lights, landing lights, annunciator lights. That's all good. Voltage, we'll check that in a second. The heat's good. Navigation lights on. Before takeoff, landing lights are on. Magnetos, we'll check those. Let's do that right now. So let's go to our engine. Okay, we'll rev this thing up to 1,700. Gotta do all this stuff to make sure we're gonna have a safe flight, right? Get this up to 1,700. And we want to see about a 100 RPM drop when we check out the magnetos. So there's about 17. Let's go a little bit. It's hard to get it right perfect. There's 17. Pull that 17, 15. And I have this magneto set up. So right now we're on both. So let's go to the right magneto. And we go back down to, yeah, about 100 RPM drop. Let's go back to both. Back up to 17. Don't hear any sputtering. Now the left magneto. It looks about the same. Then back to both. Good. Engine seems to be running okay. I'm not sure if this plane actually has magneto failures or magneto clogging. All right, so that's good. Let's just check our flight plan. Go to flight plan button here, and I can pull this up, and you can see our flight plan is right in there, the whole thing. But we're only going to Garden City, KGCK, but everything is in there. All right, so that's good. This pop-up is a nice idea, just kind of gets in your face a little bit. And we should be good to go. Let's get that flight plan out of there. Back to the checklist. So magnetos are good, engine parameters are good, power levers good, vacuums good, flight instruments are good, altimeters are good, controls we checked, trim, we're going to set that to takeoff, and autopilot disconnected. Okay. And normal takeoff, brakes, power lever, engine parameters, elevator controls. Okay, that's good. We're good there. We're not going to do a short takeoff, and this is our climb. We're not going to deal with that either. All right, so what did I want to do? I want to set the elevator. This is the elevator trim right here, so I want to have that right in the middle of the white. That's for takeoff. All right. So now should be all set. We got our first. We look at the PFD. There's an upper magenta there, KIDP to 9K8, and we got 115 miles or 116 miles to get there, and we're good to go. So pretty much all set and checked out and ready. Yeah, Colin, plane command is really essential for VR flying. It's super essential. Super essential. All right, so once we get in the air, we're going to figure out how we're going to land at the next stop, but it's a CTAF airport. We're going to assume we're already taxied here, so we got the weather. We're good to go, right? We're good to go. Like I said, I'll set the autopilot and vertical flight once we get in the air, so... Independence traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta on runway 17 departing to the west. Cirrus traffic, or Independence traffic. All right, so that was a lame call, but that's all right. You can see our red line there. That's where we're going to fly, and oh, we got to get FSEconomy going. Need our passengers. So let's go to FSEconomy. You guys can't see this, but I'm opening up FSEconomy. Doesn't seem to want to open. Right. Signing on. Starting the flight. I'm just load 40 gallons and 3 passengers. Then I go over to here, my flight, just to make sure. You guys can't see this, but I've got my first flight en route, which is exactly what we want. All right, cool. Good to go there. We're going to Kingman Municipal. Kingman Municipal. Alrighty. And we are good to go. Flaps are ready to go, right? Flaps are at 1. Comms are good. Get comfortable in my seat. And here we go. Brakes. Power up. Tanks are pretty well full. And here we go. Looking for 65 knots to rotate. And rotate. .85 knots, we can kill the flaps. Now this plane, the nose comes down a bit when you bring the flaps up, so I gotta compensate for that. Likewise, when they put the flaps down, the nose goes down for some reason. Sorry, nose goes up. Let me get that straight. When I put flaps up, nose goes down. When I put flaps down, nose goes up. Not sure if that's right, but that's what happens. All right, let's turn. Independence traffic, Cirrus 321 Takeoff Delta making a right crosswind turn and departing to the west to 3,000 feet, Independence. All right, looking good. Getting up back on our GPS course there. Now I could put the autopilot on. Yeah, let's do that. I'll put on vertical. Autopilot, nav. Vertical, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're going up at 400 feet per minute, and once we get to 3,000, if all works well, the plane should just level off by itself. Picking up our vector. Climbing at about 118, 110 and above. 110, 120 is right about where you want to be, I think, with this plane for climbing. So all systems looking good. I probably want to switch to the right tank here, and I do have that set up here too. So on a button, so I look down here, boom, right tank. And once we get up to altitude, we'll trim it out lean it out and make sure we're in good shape. See that name on the wing there, Donovan Young. Donovan was my first Patreon supporter. He was what I call the Ace level, which is $10 Patreon gets your name on the wing of the Bambino SR20. So he was kind enough to be the first Ace contributor. I do have a couple of other folks that are contributors too, and I list those whenever I do a production video. I always list the people that are part of Patreon in that production video at the end, the credits. So I appreciate all the support on Patreon. All right, good. So we're coming up to 25. Actually, we're really... Oh, I just turned autopilot off. Damn it. Damn it. All right. I hit the trim by accident and turned the autopilot off. All right, hopefully we'll level off here at 3,000. You can see here indicated on the PDF, right up here, you've got GPS, autopilot, vertical speed 400 feet per minute. Altitude is set for 3,000. So that basically telling me that's how we're going to go. And here's our GPS. We've got 110 nautical miles, 49 minutes, and all set there. So let's see how this does leveling off at 3,000. Should work just fine. To start to see this vertical speed go down, if it's going to work, but it looks like it's going to go right through. So I have to reset the flight director, I think. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's coming down. 1 and 3,000. I love how the way that works perfectly. Gets us right to 3,000. And now the plane is being flown by the computer. Well, it has been, I should say. Let's go to engine. And I don't really care about burning fuel because I got plenty of fuel. I've got, my range is 300 miles, I guess, because of the passengers, the weight. But that's plenty. So, but I'm gonna lean it back a little bit here. You can see the EGT, this right here, going up. As I lean it back. and my power numbers are going down, but I'm burning less fuel. And my range is now 430 miles, so I'll keep it. I'll keep it around 13. Because again, I'm trying to get optimum airspeed, and that should be it. That should be it. I'm going to keep the pedal to the metal on the throttle, and let's see if I can get the chat window into the cockpit, so I don't have to keep taking my headset off here. Sim, import window, that guy there, add, enter sim. There it is. Get this guy and bring him right over there. And hopefully that will work. Cedric 123. Oh, how fast am I going to fly? I'm at 144, 145 knots. It'll probably tail off about 146, somewhere around there. It's a fast single-engine plane. Can I fly the 737? Yeah, Mima, I don't. I fly basically general aviation planes. I don't. I haven't trained myself on flying the 737, so not something you're going to see me fly. As I mentioned earlier, I fly the GA planes, like this plane. The biggest plane I'm going to fly is the B1900D, which is a twin prop plane. I guess it's a Beechcraft. Is it a Beechcraft? That's the biggest plane I'm going to fly. So, all right, so we're coming at 145, 146. But yeah, I would like to learn to fly the 737s and the big iron, but I just prefer flying the general aviation planes because, you know, I don't know, the navigation is simpler, and if I ever get a pilot's license, it's going to be more of what I'm going to be doing. I'm never going to fly a 737, right? So I just like to stick to the GA stuff because it's probably it's more of what I'm going to be doing, you know? All right, and X-Plane has frozen up on me, so I'm going to have to get rid of this. When are you going to fly the Beechcraft? The B1900D? Probably when I finish this trip, I'll be doing that. So if you subscribed, I'm going to, well, I may throw in an FSEconomy flight just to earn a little bit of money. I'm planning on actually buying one of those in FSEconomy. The B1900D. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All right, so let's see, what are we going to do here? Oh, a couple things I wanted to talk about. So, let's see, let me get my notes here. So, I wanted to talk about a couple things. So, firstly, if you guys haven't heard already, I started a Facebook group. It's called VR Aviators Group, the VR Aviators Group. If you search VR Aviators Group on Facebook, you'll find it easily. There's a link in the description, I believe, as well to it. Let me just make sure of that, but I'm pretty sure I put a link in the description. Let me just see here. Yep, there's a link in the description, so you can check that out. And what it is a Facebook group specifically for people that are into VR flight simulators. Whether you're into it or whether you want to get into it, you're welcome to join. Any simulator that, as long as it's on the PC and it uses a VR headset, it's comparable with VR in some way, welcome to join. So DCS, X-Plane, Aerofly FS2, FSX, P3D, any flight sim that allows you to fly in VR, that's the topics of discussion, and any VR headset that works with those. So like the Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, any of the other market that are coming on the market, as long as they support Steam VR and they support the flight simming, welcome to talk about them. And VR in general, it's a good place for us to talk about VR. And again, you don't have to be doing it right now. Maybe you're just interested in doing it. You want to learn for some people that have done it for a while. Personally, I've been doing it, as I mentioned before, probably, I guess, 9-10 months I've been flying in VR. So, and actually, I think that one of the first VR experiences I ever had was flying when I had an HDK2 headset, which is a Razer headset, which I since sold. I flew that, using that in DCS, which just blew me away and kind of gave me the bug to get into VR flight sims. So anyway, please check that out, the VR Aviators group on Facebook. We already have over 60 members in like about a week, which is great. I want to also give a shout out to the X-Plane 11 Next Generation group on Facebook. The folks there were kind enough to let me post on there an announcement of our group, and that went out this morning, and since then we're starting to see some more people join the group, which is great. And it's all about giving people, again, the opportunity to talk about flight simming and virtual reality, which I believe is really going to be expanding, because there's two factors that are going to, I think, will expand it. One, the price of VR headsets are coming down. You can now get a full-fledged Rift or Vive system for like around $400 for the headset. I mean, yeah, you have to have a PC capable of running it, which will probably cost you $1,000 to, at least $1,000, let's just say, to start, to either build a PC or get one that has enough power. But when you think about it, $1,500, yeah, that's a lot of money, but it's not too bad to get into VR. When you think about 3 years ago, it probably cost you about $5,000 to get into VR. Okay, so the price is really coming down, and I think that's one thing. The other thing is X-Plane 11 is planning native VR support. Now, you can already use X-Plane 11 in VR like I am with Fly Inside, which is an add-on, and Fly Inside also lets you use P3D and FSX. If you choose to fly in those, they have modules for those. P3D also has, in version 4, has their own inherent VR, but I understand that. I've never used it, but I understand that Fly Inside's implementation is actually better than P3D's native. But in any event, X-Plane 11, which is arguably one of the top 2 flight sims, for study level or, realistic flight, that and P3D, is going to have native VR by the end of the year. It's being worked on. It's already been announced. They have a roadmap that by Christmas they're going to be releasing the beta of native VR for X-Plane. I expect there to be some considerable improvements over what we're seeing in Fly Inside. Fly Inside's done a great job to get me and others that are interested to where we are. But I think X-Plane 11's native VR, combined with the lower cost of VR equipment, will get a lot more people into flying in virtual reality. I did a video, you can check it out on my channel. It's the VR flight simulation guide, I think I call it. Yeah, guide to VR flight simulation. It's got almost 28,000 views. It's one of my most popular videos on VR on flight sims. And you could just, more and more people ask me questions every day about flying in VR. So I really think that once you do it, and most people will tell you, it's very difficult to go back to 2D flying. Now, there's limitations like field of view and other things that I go on into in the video, but just having the pure depth of field and the ability to get the sense of actually being in a cockpit and having situational awareness in VR, those who have made the switch will tell you it's pretty amazing. So in any event, all that to tell you, if you're interested in all that stuff, join the VR Aviators group on Facebook. We've got some great people in there, always willing to answer questions and offer opinions, and we're hoping to build that into a really big Facebook group. So thanks for letting me talk about that. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, let me get the chat here. Can I fly in Amsterdam? Mima, I really only fly in North America, Hawaii, and the Caribbean. That's basically in South America and the Caribbean. That's basically where I fly. So yeah, you're not going to see me flying in Europe at all. Colin, definitely looking forward to native VR. Yeah, I am too. What I'm hoping for is the frame rates. I mean, let me just check my frame rates here. So I'm getting 20. This is a third-party plane. I got fly inside. You know, a lot of autogen probably here, and I've got, you know, fly inside on the second to highest graphics setting. But what I'm hoping for is when native VR comes out, that we're seeing, you know, frame rates in 30 plus, which is fine with me. 30 plus is fine with me. Better visuals because it's native, right? You don't have this reprojection. Because I believe that even though Fly Inside's done a great job of reprojecting X-Plane, I think there's something lost in the reprojection, the sharpness of the scenery, and I'm hoping that when it's native, we're going to see much sharper scenery, and that would be incredible, like you would see in like Aerofly. Because Aerofly, I don't know if you've ever tried Aerofly FS2 in VR, the scenery is extremely much sharper than the Fly Inside XP combination, and I'm guessing from that native VR in X-Plane will probably hopefully have the same kind of results. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that too. Yeah, Key West. I love flying in Key West actually. I have a relative that lives in Key West, and it's a great, cool place to fly because you can hop the islands and all that. And in fact, it just brought up a thought. What I'm trying to do is after I finish this flight, FSEconomy, and my next thing is going to be Ortho 4XP. Now, I've got Ortho 4XP, which, if you guys aren't aware, is a way to enhance the scenery using, you download high-res graphic pictures of, you know, satellite mapping, and there's a piece of software that allows you to create high-res scenery in X-Plane called Ortho 4XP, and it just makes the visuals like completely realistic of what's actually on the ground, and it makes them it's like stunning, especially if you're flying at higher altitudes. Now, I'm using Ortho 4XP in Southern California in the Pilot Edge area, in Hawaii, and in the Northeast, which is the area where I live. Now, the reason why I only picked those is because those 4 areas take up like 120 gig, okay? It takes up a lot of space because you have these high-res graphics. So, what I'm planning on doing is I'm buying a 4 terabyte hard drive, okay? Because right now my system is I have 2 500 gigabyte SSDs, okay? Not optimal for Ortho 4XP because, you know, it takes a lot of storage. Like I said, there's like 3 small areas of the world that's taking up 120 gig, right? I would like to map most of the United States. Now, maybe not the central parts, but definitely the east and west coasts, and probably into Colorado. I'll figure it all out. But the whole idea is I'm going to have this Ortho 4XP project where I'm going to put this, I'm going to get a high-speed, really good hard drive, 4 terabytes, and I'm going to build out Ortho 4XP on that. I want to do most of North America. I want to do the Caribbean. Definitely want to do Key West. That's what kind of brought it up. And I want to do it high res. Right now, I think I'm using what they call 16-bit or whatever it's called, and I want to go to like 18, so that it's like super, super, super high res. Let me get back. This is the Fly Inside glitch there, where it takes you out of the menu, and then I think when they switch the scenery. But in any event, that's the plan with Ortho 4XP, and that's going to be my next plan. The hard drive is going to cost me about $190. All right. That's one of the things I do with the funds that I get from advertising and Patreon and all the support that you guys give me on the channel. I put it back in because I'm thinking that in VR, if right now we were looking at Ortho 4XP, you guys would be like, wow, that looks awesome. We're looking at standard X-Plane scenery, which is okay, but it's not like the Ortho 4XP. And I want to get that done before native VR comes out, because I'm hoping, again, native VR has better visuals, and then that combined with the 4XP will really create better content for you guys. So that's a project I'm going to be working on now. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time to build out those meshes, if you will. It takes a lot of time, actually. But I'm willing to do that because I think it'll improve things. And like I said, I already have it in some areas, and if you watch some of my Pilot Edge videos where I'm flying in California, it looks really amazing. So that's the next project I have, the Ortho 4XP project. Let's see what you guys are saying in chat here. Colin, you have all the tiles for all the UK and run from a separate hard drive via Alias. Yeah, right. The shortcut, or Alias link, or shortcut link, whatever you call it, works well, and it's stunning. Yeah, it is stunning in VR. And the thing is that it can be on a hard drive, because you don't have to worry about load times. And I'm gonna buy a fast hard drive. I'll probably get a WD Black, which is a performance gaming hard drive. And right now, again, I think 4 terabyte would probably be enough for what I want to do, and then some. Yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to doing that. And Colin, I'm glad you agree. It definitely makes things much better. So, in any event, while I'm chatting here, let's just see where we are. We're 67 miles, 25 minutes. So, I want to get my comms set up for the next place we're going. So we can actually get rid of Independence, because we're not going to go there anymore. But we're going here, and let me get our frequency, Kingman. So, set COM 1 to 122.8.
COM1 set to 122.8.
Set COM 2 to 119.32.
COM2 set to 119.32.
Alright. So we got our comms set up. And let's figure out our strategy here for this place. So we've got a couple of choices here. We could straight in land at 29. Which would be the easiest. Or let's just take a look at the remarks. It's right pattern. Is 29 a shorter runway? Yeah, it's kind of a shorter runway. Let's look at the remarks again. Right pattern, left traffic for 336. I'm just thinking about how I want to do this. Yeah, the only problem is you end up sightseeing rather than flying. But isn't flying about sightseeing? That's why it's cool, right? Because with Ortho 4XP, you can go to a place in the world and really see what it really looks like. To me, that's really cool, right? I mean, I don't know how it would handle like the things like the what is this? What I'm having a mind blank here about the place in South Dakota or North Dakota, Mount Rushmore. Thank you. I just had the brain fart there. I wonder what Mount Rushmore looks like in Ortho 4XP. I'd like to check that out. But in any event, so let me just get back to my thing here. So I can go into 1.8 or 3.6. 3.6, I got to go to the south. Enter on the left downwind. No, it's left traffic. All right. It's left traffic into 3.6, so we're going to enter on the left downwind on 3.6. Let's just do that, okay? Enter on the left downwind, 3.6. Right? Yeah, let's do that. Then we can take off that way. Cool. All right, let's go back to there. Yeah, I mean, isn't flying about, that's, I know what you're saying, like, you got to fly the plane first, right? But to me, if I fly somewhere, I would love to be able to see what this actually looks like rather than, repetitive, digital representation of quasi-farmland, which is okay and, tricks the brain into believing you're flying over the country, but I'm sure there's a lot more to this than, we know there is, than them actually seeing. So that's my project, the Ortho 4XP project. and I'm looking forward to doing that. But I want to finish this flight first, because once I get into what am I thinking here? Sorry, Las Vegas. From there on, it's pretty much all ortho, so we'll have some good visuals. All right, what do we got here? Let me pull up my PFD. All right, we got 57, 21. We're all looking good. I love the way this thing pops out. It's so easy to read. I mean, it's okay to read here. On the higher definition and flying side, it's easy to read from this distance. But it's a little fuzzy on the, was it 1680, whatever it is. I had it at 23 something, and it's much, much better. But I can't get the frame rates at that level. So right now I'm 19. I got to try to keep it 20 so time doesn't go too slow. Now let's take a look at this guy. All right, so we're good. There's our end destination, KLAS. We're 876 nautical miles from that destination. Okay, it would take us 5.5 hours to fly there. I'm not going to do that today. Not going to do that today. We're going to Garden City today. All right, you can see my left tank. I need to switch over to that, so let me get rid of this. And I'll just hit my left tank button. And we are now on the left tank. Engine parameters, everything looking good. Everything in the green. Yep. Good. Cool. What areas do I recommend creating ortho tiles for in the States? Well, if you fly Pilot Edge, then you definitely want to do Southern California. I fly Pilot Edge, only the Southern California plan, $19 a month or whatever it is, $179 a year. I just don't, at some point I'm going to get the whole subscription when I learn more about towered flight and communicating that, but I'm only like a Cat 4 now, so I need to build up my ATC skills before I can take advantage of that. So right now I'm basically on the low plan of flight of Pilot Edge, and I put ortho in for all that area. So that, for me, that's a must because I fly that a lot. Hawaii is another place because it's just so beautiful there. It's just a wonderful place to have ortho 4XP because you get to really see like the pineapple fields and the rainforest. It's just beautiful, beautiful areas. And then Alaska is another area because you've got all those beautiful mountains and stuff. Those are some cool places. So, I mean, the central mid United States is pretty much the same, like pretty flat cornfields, not a lot to see. The East Coast is cool, like the New York area, the tri-state area there around New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. That's pretty cool. Florida, those areas are pretty cool. So, you know, I like the coasts and Hawaii and Alaska. To me, those are the best areas to start with, right? All right, so how far out are we? We're 49. I'm going to report at 20. We're going to be entering the left downwind for full stop at 36, right? And what the hell is the name of this plane? Is it Kingman? Kingman. No problem, Colin. What areas of Europe would you recommend putting ortho 4XP? Because I do at some point plan on doing some flying in Europe, like maybe Switzerland, like in the mountains and stuff. But I'd bet that that's one area that you would recommend. And Colin, I'm just approving you for the VR flight, the VR Aviators group. So welcome to the group. We're at 65 members, not bad. Let's do an outside view here. I got my button set up so I can do a flyby here. Here we go. That's pretty cool in VR. Do that again. There's the Bambino SR20. I love this plane. It's just a fun plane to fly. If I ever had hit the lottery, as I said many times before, and I got my pilot's license, this would definitely be the plane I'd want. SR22 probably, but that's a little bit more expensive. SR20 is a little less expensive, and get a used one for like around 150 grand, something like that. No, that's a lot of money, but you know, it's a lot less than like $500,000 or even more for SR20. All right, or SR22, I should say. All right, so we're set here. Again, I'm going to report at 20 miles. We're at 42 miles. All right, so talked about ortho. We talked about. Oh, okay. So here's another thing I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'll save that for the next flight. I will mention that if you guys are into Aerofly FS2, it's a cool simulator. It doesn't have the navigation and comms that X-Plane has, but it's got really great visuals, and the flight dynamics are not as good as X-Plane. But I think it's a $50 flight sim, and they're adding to it all the time. They just added Colorado map. It does have a limited map. That's the other thing. But they added Colorado, and I think it's 30 airports in Colorado, and I'm looking forward to checking out some of those airports to see what they look like. Their visuals are really, really good. They're photorealistic graphics. Like if you fly in New York in an Aerofly FS2, the buildings in New York look amazing. Now, the one drawback to me in Aerofly FS2 is that everything looks kind of lifeless. It looks like, it kind of reminds you of like the movie I Am Legend, where Will Smith is in Manhattan by himself. So when you fly around Manhattan and you look at it, it looks like nothing is moving, you know. In X-Plane, you got some cars on the ground, you got trains, you got a little movement on the ground to trick your brain into thinking that, while you're not paying attention to it, that it's actually realistic. Even the water in Aerofly looks like ice. It looks like it's frozen. But that aside, the detail of the graphics are amazing. And even in VR, when you've got screen door effect and some little bit of fuzziness or whatever, it looks really, really good. So, but check out, if you're interested, if you already have it, make sure you download the the Colorado map. I'm not sure how big of a space you're going to need for it. It's already a huge download. I think without the Colorado, it's like 140 gig or something. It's massive. It is fun to fly, and I will tell you that they have a really cool glider in Aerofly FS2 that I really like. I think I made a couple of videos on it. Yeah, I did. If you like flying gliders, which I do like, check that out if you've got that game. It's got, or should say, flight sim. Although, honestly, people call it a flight sim, but because it doesn't have real-world navigation and comms, it's really more of a game/flight sim like FSW. Don't hit me on that, guys. That's just the way I feel about it. To me, a flight simulator, you know, we've evolved to the point where a flight simulator is something like P3D or X-Plane, where you've got the whole thing: comms, weather, nav, you know, realistic flight modeling. That's a flight simulator. You know, 10 years ago, FSW is a flight simulator. FSX is a flight simulator because X-Plane and P3D didn't push the limits of where it is now, which is as close to real flight as you can get, right? So there's kind of been this separation, to me, in my mind, in the flight sim genre, where you've got flight sims and you've got flight sim games, right? Flight sims being X-Plane, P3D, my opinion. Flight sim games being FSX. FSX maybe more towards the flight sim, but more towards a game. Aerofly and FSW are more like flight sim games. Some of you guys won't agree with me. That's just my opinion. Let's see, Colin. Switzerland, yeah, that's what I thought. The Alps. The Amalfi coast of Italy. That's cool. Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Denmark, Norway. Oh, the fjords. Yeah, right. The fjords. Pining at it reminds me of Monty Python. Pining for the fjords. You live in Devon, UK. So okay, so you'd say Southwest UK. Okay. Hey Tim, how you doing? Thanks for joining the stream, man. Tim is a frequent contributor to the comments on YouTube. Tim, I always enjoy reading what you have to say, and thanks for checking out the stream. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome, Colin. Welcome to the group. Looking forward to. We're getting like tons of. Tim just asked to join. I'm going to approve you right now, Tim. Boom, you're approved. So we're getting tons of requests now. I think we're up to over 65 people now. We only started a little over a week ago, so 66 people. So it's good. Good. Advancing the cause of VR flight sims. That's the whole idea, right? All right, let me see where I am. 29 miles. We're making progress. Making progress. Let's see. I got a 1600 flight deck, so I'm at 3000. I don't think I need to come down with air autopilot. I think I can stay here and then I'll hand fly it once I get a little closer. I'm going to be entering on the left downwind for runway 36 full stop at Kingman. And should be good to go. Now, someone asked me, would have been you, Tim, why I don't use X-Plane's ATC. And you know, I never really got into using that because I thought it was like a text-based ATC like FSX is, right? Which obviously I can't do in VR. Is it a voice recognition ATC? If it is, then I've been completely ignorant about it, and I should maybe use it when I'm not on Pilot Edge. Might be kind of interesting to do, but I don't know much about it, and I haven't had a chance to really look into it. You know, because when I got into it, I started really learning more about how to fly properly. I got right into Pilot Edge, so you know, any ATC I did was on Pilot Edge. But let's see, not me. I use Pilot to ACC. Oh, Pilot to ATC. Okay, so that's voice recognition for X-Plane's inherent ATC. Is that what that is? I'm curious because I'd like to check that out. It's not too expensive. Drink of water, guys. Voice recognition, $60. All right, I got to think about that one. $60. Pilot to ATC. Okay, I'll remember that. Check into it. See how it will work with VR, because that's the whole thing, right? I can't be taking the headset off and stuff, but I'll see how it works in VR. I wonder what lake that is over there. This is what's nice. Let's look on the map here. There's a body of water. The Cheney Reservoir. Okay, cool. All right, I just want to double check my flight. So I'm going to enter 36 is left traffic. We're going to enter on the left downwind for runway 36, right? Because I know all you aviation enthusiasts, if I did it wrong, you guys would be all over me. Just kidding. It works with VR. Okay, cool. Free trial. All right. Thank you, Tony. I'll check that out. I thought that was you who asked that question. I'll check that out, and we'll see if that's something that I might be able to use when I'm not flying in Pilot Edge areas. Although Pilot Edge is creeping its way across the country. It's already into like Colorado and Northern California, up into Washington State, and Keith over there. They're really expanding Pilot Edge, which is great to see. Although I know it's a tough business because you've got to get more people on it. I help try to promote it so that we get more people on it. You can drive the cost down and get more air traffic controllers. But it is very cool because, you know, I got to tell you, like when like I do patterns at St. Louis, which is a towered airport. Where are we at? Oh, 19. I better report. Hold on. Kingman traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are 20 miles east of the airfield at 3000. Intend on entering on the left downwind for full stop landing on runway 36, Kingman. All right. Pilot Edge. So yeah, so there. What I was saying is we want to promote Pilot Edge if you're into it, because that'll drive down the cost of subscription and get more ATCs, because right now you've got one person on duty and they're handling all the traffic for everybody, which means there's like, you know, if you're on a frequency for like St. Louis, when I'm doing patterns in St. Louis and I'm on that frequency, I'm talking to the air traffic controller, and that person's also talking to someone else in Van Nuys on the same frequency. So it's kind of like can get confusing, but once you get used to it, it's not confusing, if you know what I mean. So I would love to see Pilot Edge expand to have more air traffic controllers, even if it's just 2, you know, or 3, to be able to, you know, just to break it up a little bit so you don't get a lot of the crosstalk on similar frequencies. But it is cool to talk to a real person, and they help you when you're, you know, not doing something correctly. They'll tell you, hey, listen, you did it in a nice way. You didn't do that right. This is what you need to do. So it's a learning experience, which is what it's all about, right? You're trying to simulate real world so that if you are a pilot or you want to be a pilot, you're, you know, doing things the correct way, which is what we want. So in any event, all right, let's report it's 15. Kingman traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are 15 miles east of the airfield. Intend on a left downwind entry for full stop landing on runway 36, Kingman. All right, 5 minutes in. At 10, I'll start looking for the airport. I'm going to check chat one more time, guys, then I'm going to put the hood down and land. Pilot ATC has a nice ATC speech training feature, flight planning as well. You can come inside VR with you, and I'm not, and you're no way affiliated, so you're not plugging it. All right, Tim. Well, thanks, man. I will definitely check that out, and Colin looks like he's going to check it out. Yeah, Tim, maybe you should be affiliated, but that's cool. Thanks for letting us know about that. Anything that can enhance VR flight, we want to know about. So I'm going to look into it and see if it's something I could add. All right, so let me get into cockpit here and get ready for a landing. Let's see. Let's see if we can zoom in and see the airfield. I expect this to be hard to pick out. I see it up there. All right, so we're going to head a little bit. It's 3.6, so set heading bug to 360.
Heading bug set to 360 degrees.
All right, so we need that. Got to have the heading bug set. It just helps you so much with pattern work, you know, landings and stuff. All right, so tanks, I should go on the right tank because it's a little bit fuller. I'm on the right tank, right? Yep, right tank, good. All right, let's go through. We got a little bit of time here. Not really. So I'm just gonna do my quick checklist. Gump. Gas is good. We got the most full tank. Undercarriage is welded, so we don't have to worry about that. Mixture is, I'm putting it in, and prop we don't have to worry about. All right, so. I tell you what, let's do this. Let me fly a little bit north here, just so I don't disturb the. I see my airport. It's the second blue dot there on the MFD. I don't want to get in the way of departing planes, so let me get my autopilot off. We got the plane. And we're going to fly a little bit north. of the airfield. Take us a little longer, but that's okay. I love that. That's my favorite shot right there. Isn't she a pretty plane? Is it just me, or is it like a really cool looking plane? I like the diamonds too. They're nice. Kind of sleek looking, but there's just something about this plane I really like. I don't know why. Just the shape of it, or maybe it's because it's got a parachute. I think that might be it. It's like, it's one of the safest planes because if you get into a world of shit, you can just look up there and you can pull the caps. And it actually does work on this plane. I have a video of it working. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. I was flying in Catalina, I think, and if I remember correctly. And I pulled the caps to see what happened, and it worked. I ended up floating in the ocean. All right, so I'm pretty much out of the way of departing traffic here. So I'm going to fly due west here. And we should see the airport on our left wing. Kingman traffic, Cirrus SR20 Tango Delta. We are 3 miles east of the airport at 3,600 feet. We'll be entering on the left downwind for full stop landing runway 36, Kingman. Yeah, all of a sudden I wasn't paying attention to the altimeter, and I'm 3,600 feet in the air, which is not where I want to be, so. All right, we should see our airfield pretty soon on the right here. On the left, I should say. Oh, there it is. Okay, right there. Yeah, we're a little close to the departure point, but that's all right. There's nobody else flying today. Probably the safer bet would be to do a straight-in landing from the south. But let's get it. We're going to enter the left downwind right here. Kingman traffic, Cirrus SR20 Tango Delta, turning left downwind, runway 36, Kingman. And there she is, right there, baby. Just a bland. That's the one thing about this trip. Most of these airfields I'm landing at are all bland. They don't have any graphics associated with them. All right, we should probably start slowing the plane down now. Bringing the throttle back a little bit. All right, now on the Cirrus, when I put the flaps down, watch the nose. Comes up. I'm not sure that's realistic or not. I gotta ask Mario about that. Maybe one of you guys know. Is that realistic? I don't think it is. I don't think the flap should come, the nose should come up that much, and should have to compensate that much. All right, let's see. Where are we here? Probably make our base turn now. Kingman traffic, Cirrus 328 Tango Delta, turning left base for runway 36, full stop, Kingman. All right, flaps to full. This is what I like about VR. I could peer my head around the column and look. That's awesome. There's the runway. Kingman traffic, Cirrus SR20 Takeoff, turning left, final runway 36, full stop, Kingman. That's an easy call, Kingman. We got flaps full. We're gonna line up here. We gotta get down. We're a little bit high here. 1700 is the deck. But getting pretty good at flying this plane, so. Right, got one orange. We need two orange. Two orange, good. Kind of a steep descent here, but there's three orange, so I'll level that out. Slowing her down. Keep her slow, 98, 97. Got trees. Now, you would think someone would have pruned those trees. 90, coming into 89. Just gotta pretend the trees aren't there. 84, right where I want to be. Nose up. Nice and easy. Throttle down, flare. Down to the earth. Beautiful. Flaps up. And I'm gonna stop right here. All right. Parking brake on.
Brakes set.
Beautiful. Not a bad landing. Let's check out the. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. Let's see. Beautiful to fly, for real as well. Flown it once. Oh, nice. Nice. At Blackbush in the UK. Oh, you're talking about the SR20. Nice. I'm still only getting 35 to 50 frames per second after upgrading X-Plane 11, the latest. Oh, very good. So that's the beta. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about much better frame rates with the X-Plane 11.10. I haven't upgraded yet. I think I'm gonna wait for the real thing. Yeah, at least you should get a commission. Yeah, so that was good. So let's now I gotta turn this bloody plane off to pick up my FSEconomy dollars. Let me just check my I like to go to layers and then go to shaded relief. Top graph. Yeah, top graphical. And that'll show me my pattern, which is pretty good. Not a bad pattern. And let's go back to sectional. All right, cool. So, I gotta turn this baby off. So we're going to, make sure I do this correctly. So let's get the mixture off. I want heat off, lights off, avionics off, batteries off, engine off. Good. All right, now we can collect our FSEconomy money. You guys can't see this because the screen you're seeing is Oculus mirror. Okay, so we ended our flight. Let me just see. All right, so we collected that, and now we're flying to our next flight. Which is, where are we flying to? Where did I say we're flying to? The next flight is Dodge City. So I don't need to, I'm not entering anything in X-Plane. Sorry, in FSEconomy, because, let's see, your flight, say, hold on. I can't put my glasses on, guys. Give me a second here. All right, let me see where the hell I am here. Oh, I gotta rent the aircraft. Okay. So where am I? I'm at 9K. I gotta rent my aircraft again. All right, that's done. Fly Piperol Panthera. That's a cool glass pot cockpit. And a Garmin 750 and a Garmin 650. Yeah, that was one pretty good FPS. Good. That was one I was looking at too. That looked like a really cool plane. So how fast is it? Because the reason why I like the SR20 is because I can get up to 150 knots around there. So is it reasonably fast? All right, so I'm going from, we're going to just start this flight. We have enough gas, right? Let me just make sure. I got 28 gallons. And we're flying 28 gallons, and I'm flying 88 miles. So that should be fine, right? Dodge City. Beautiful. All right, so we're good to go. Start flight. Okay. 200 knots cruising. All right, that's fast. I like that. I like fast GA planes. That's what I like. All right, let me get this baby started up here. I love how I have these buttons. Clear prop. Let's just see. Where's my flight plan? It's got me going to Dodge City. Beautiful. Exactly what we want. Let's just check out the altitude of Dodge City. I have a feeling it's a little bit higher. That's not it. Where's Dodge City? Dodge City is at 25.96. That's pretty damn high. So I think we're going to be flying at, let's see, we have any obstructions? We're going to start to see some mountains, which is cool. 27, 24. All right, so the highest is 27, so I think we better get it up to about 4,000. Wouldn't you say, boys? 4,000? Tim, gotta get back to work. Have a great stream. Yeah, thank you. How do you find out about these in advance? Well, if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the bell notification, that'll send you an email when I'm streaming. Sometimes I just stream like spur of the moment, but like today I did a set of reminders. So I'm going to try to do more of scheduling them so people can join. So just set the just hit that bell icon on the YouTube subscription, and you'll get a notification of when I send out a event. All right, that's the best way to do it. All right, so we're going to go to 4,000. Okay, so that should be good. And we got our gas. Let's see. Anything else I have to worry about here? I mean, I should do a checklist, but I'm just going to take off and get on the way here. All right. Yeah, so 2,700. We're good on gas. I think I want to go to the right tank because it's a little bit fuller. And we're good to go. So let's take off. Let's get the hell out of here. So they trim the takeoff, and let's go. Flaps to 1. Oops. A little bit much P factor there. Oops, whoops, 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 whoops. Let's take off. That wasn't very good. I got absorbed by the camera views. All right, turning west, right? Turning west. And I didn't talk to CTAF. That was bad. All right, well. My bad. Kingman traffic. Cirrus SR20 Delta departing to the west. Climbing to 4,000. Kingman Have a nice day. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I blew a procedure there. Although, you know, I got to tell you, at my local airport, I go there once in a while, and I've got a radio, turn it on, I tune into the frequency, listen to with a, it's a non-towered, right? And I listen, and I got to tell you, there are a lot of pilots that land without ever even talking to CTAF. It happens a lot. I mean, I've heard it, I've seen it, you know, at least 6 people land the plane without ever saying anything on the CTAF frequency. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, let's get autopilot on. And I'm gonna recycle the flight director. I think I might. Let me just do this. Let's go vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 4. All right, we're going to climb at 4,000 up to 4,000 at 400 feet per minute. That should be good. Let's get our flaps up. Sorry about that. Yeah, so taking off, they always talk, right? So that was a mistake I just made back there. But I've actually seen people land at that airport, and it's a pretty busy municipal airport. You know, on a clear day, I mean, there's planes taking off and landing all the time. And people come in without, you know, they land without talking, without ever saying anything. So that's, I don't know. I was like, first time I did that, I was like, hey, that guy didn't do any calls to CTAF. Why would you not do that? I mean, it's even safe for yourself, right? Because you're finding out if there's anybody else there and what they're doing. You want to know what they're doing, right? All right, so speaking of that, let's change our frequencies. Go to the binder. We don't need this guy anymore. Now going to Dodge City, baby. Dodge City. Frequency. Setcom 1 to 122.7.
COM1 set to 122.7.
Setcom 2 to 118.52.
COM2 set to 118.52.
This is about 80-mile jaunt, right? 88-mile jaunt. So, but I do appreciate you guys checking the stream out. Always fun to talk with you guys about X-Plane or flight sims in general or VR. So speaking of VR, I wanted to talk about a new VR. Well, it's not really, well, it's a VR headset that's kind of been in the discussion in the VR circles. The Pimax 8K. Okay. Company called Pimax. They're a Chinese company. They came out with a 4K, which really wasn't a 4K. It was actually a 2K. It was two 2K screens, one in each eye, and they added it up and called it a 4K, which isn't really right. And that came out about 6 months after the Rift and Vive came out, and it really kind of petered out. Some people bought it. It wasn't that expensive. I think it used the Lighthouse Vive motion detectors, and I saw a couple of videos on it, and they weren't too impressive. So come now, like I guess in October, this same company, Pimax, put up a Kickstarter for the Pimax 8K and Pimax 5K. And I was like, wow, 8K? 8K? We haven't even gotten to 4K yet, right? So I'm saying to myself, something's funny here, right? So I looked into it, and what it actually is two 4K OLED screens, one per eye. So again, they add them up and say it's 8K. Well, that's not really true, right? Because both eyes are seeing, what both eyes are seeing is like basically a 4K image. They could have said it was 4K, and I think it would be okay. But I think because they called the first one 4K, which wasn't, they had to continue the exaggeration, right? But in any event, so Kickstarter came out, and it's gotten like $4 million in Kickstarters. Way over, they wanted 2, I think, and they got 4. It might be even higher than that. So a lot of people are buying into this. Again, you need a Lighthouse radios that, not radios, cameras that use for HTC Vive, and you can usually use those, or Pimax will say the whole kit that has their own. It's not cheap. forget the prices, but it's not cheap. I think it's like $600 for the full pack. Anyway, go look, if you're interested, go look at the Kickstarter and you can see the details. So, but again, I'm saying to myself, well, they're advertising this as 8K. There's something wrong with that. So Linus Tech Tips, I'm sure if you guys are into PCs and stuff, I'm sure you know Linus. He's got a really popular channel on YouTube. He did a demo, a review of it, and he brought up the fact that it is not an 8K headset. It is a 4K headset, okay, because it's got two 4K screens. Now, he did say there's literally no screen door effect. He did say the image is very clear. But he also said it's a little bit distorted because he doesn't think their lenses are designed properly, but apparently this was the prototype that he had, okay? But they expand the view, the field of view, I think, to 150 degrees. I think it's 150, which he says is really incredible because now you've got, like, some peripheral vision, right? So, and he said the thing looks pretty light. So I urge you, if you've heard about this thing, before you kickstart it, which they don't need the money now anyway, I would say just wait until it comes out, and if you're interested, buy one after you see some reviews. But if you're interested in it, make sure you watch Linus's video because he kind of demystifies all of the marketing hype around it. All right. He did say there was some tracking things that it was a bit laggy, and he said that he was getting some motion sickness. Now, again, it was a prototype, okay? But it's something to be looked at because, if anything, it'll push Oculus. I should say it will. It could push Oculus and HTC to advance their headsets to be wider field of view and better graphic density. I mean, I can tell you right now that if I had an Oculus that was, if Oculus offered a 150 degree field of view and a 4K screen, I would buy it in a second. I mean, I'd sell my baseball card collection, sell some other stuff, and I'd buy one. Okay, I would buy one because that's would make piloting so much better, to be able to just turn your eyes and look instead of having to turn your head and look. Right? It would be kind of getting used to, but that's the next step. So interesting that Pimax is doing this. It's definitely something you might want to check out, or at least be aware of if you're into VR flight. But don't be fooled by the 8K. It is not 8K. It's a 4K headset, which still in itself is impressive. So check out Linus's video. He's big. I can give him a plug. So that's the Pimax. Now, let's see. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, I wanted to talk about my flight stick, the Thrustmaster. I've got the 1600M, T1600M, and it was $60 on Amazon. There's a link in the description if you want to buy one. Please click that link. That'll help support the channel. I bought it because I fly this plane a lot, and this plane has a single left-handed yoke, right? And this stick you're able to configure it for left hand. It comes right-handed, but a couple of screws in about 10 minutes, and you can configure it for left hand, right? So I thought it would be really cool. And it is good, okay? But here's the problem I have with it, okay? Comparing it to a yoke. Now, with a yoke, right, if you want to go up, you pull back. If you want to go down, you push forward, okay? If you want to go left, go left, you go right. That's the yoke, right? That's how the yoke works in the SR20. If you want to go up, you would pull it back. Or if you want to go down, you would push it in, okay? So the difference is, because this flight stick, and all flight sticks for that matter, are on a ball axis, okay? There's basically a ball in there, and it rotates on that ball. There is no pulling back or pushing forward, okay? You tilt it forward or tilt it back. I'm trying to describe that it is a different motion physically than you would experience in the SR20, all right? Or any plane that's got a yoke, right? Because you're actually leaning it back or tilting it back or tilting it forward when you fly, when you want to go up or down. Now, left and right is the same. You just, you know, you're just kind of tilting it. That motion's pretty much as it would be in real life. But the motion for elevation, for climbing and descending, is not the same. The other thing is, so that's one thing to consider when you're going to buy one. The other thing is, it holds whatever trajectory you set it to. So in other words, if I go down and put it at, like, you know, 5 degrees down, and the stick comes back to center, which it automatically does, the plane will still be going down. It's not like a yoke where you pull it, wherever the yoke is the way the plane's going to go, right? It sticks to wherever you put it, and then you've got to pull it out of that, right? So it's I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It's not the same as real life. And that makes it much easier to land with, because, you know, once you get your flare up, you set it to the flare up, and it just holds the flare, right? With a yoke, with a CH Products yoke, you have to hold the flare yourself, okay? So there is a difference in using a stick versus using a yoke, and it's subtle, but, you know, for me, like, I bought this because I said, okay, if I ever fly, now, let me put it this way. I'm probably never going to own or fly an SR20. You know, maybe someday if I get my pilot's license, I might. So it's not going to make that much of a difference to me. But if you're looking for a completely realistic physical connection with a device, you're not going to get that with a flight stick with this type of yoke. That's in the SR20. Now with like a 777 or 788 or I think the Diamonds, I think that's a little different because those have the tilt kind of flight sticks, so it makes sense for that. But it doesn't make sense for this plane because the yoke is a pull-push for elevation, and for going up and for descending and ascending. Right. Anyway, I wanted to just point at that observation. Again, I like the stick. It's cool to fly with one hand. What I was doing before is flying with one hand on the left side of the yoke. With this, and that's actually more realistic to what would really be with this plane than this is. So I don't know. I'm actually considering maybe going back to the yoke. I have to think about it. What I'm going to do is continue with this for a little bit longer, and then see how that goes. And then I might try it again with the yoke, see how that goes, because it is more challenging because it's not holding the flare, right? Like I said, when you tilt that stick back, it holds the flare. Well, maybe it doesn't. Let me just take it off autopilot for a second here. Oh, no. Yeah, see, look, if I point it down and I put the stick back, I'm still going down. Okay? If I pull it back up and the stick goes to center, I'm still going up. So it holds whatever your, you know, your trajectory is. Okay? That's not realistic. It's not realistic. Right? With a yoke, you push it down. Everywhere you move it, that's the way the plane goes, right? And that's what would really happen in real life. So anyway, that's my beef about the 1600M. It's a good stick. It's got great buttons. It reacts well. I'm not saying it's not a good stick, but for the application I'm using it for, which is a yoke for an SR20, it's not right. But that's okay. Anyway, I wanted to just let you guys know that. Yeah, Colin, sticks are for fighter pilots, but they're also for gliders. Because the stick on a glider, this would be more realistic for, right? The stick on the Diamond, I believe, it would be more realistic for. Because that is more like of a pilot. But see, this plane doesn't have a stick. It really has a one-handed yoke, right? That's what this really is. It's not a stick, it's a one-handed yoke. And when I bought this thing, I really didn't think about that. You know, I was thinking one-handed, left-handed, would be really cool, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. It's, you know, I could return it. I'm not going to return it because I'll use it for other things, like gliding or whatever. But it's just not right for this plane. And I want to have a realistic, you know, experience, you know. And this plane is harder to land when you're using the yoke, and that's what I want. I want it hard to land. It's very simple to land this with this stick, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going back to the yoke for the SR20. But anyway, it was a cool experiment, and like I said, I'll use this for other stuff. And what I do like about it is it's got a really, I like the way the hat button is set up, and it's a great stick. Like I said, don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm like 60-70% going back to this yoke. But anyway, that's that. Oh, let me get back. I'm on this stupid thing here. Let me get back to the map so you can see where we are here. All right, Dodge City. Did I already set my frequencies for Dodge City? Did I set it for 122.7? Yep, and 118.525, right? Yep. All right, let's figure out how we're going to get into this airport. Well, let's look at the remarks. All right, everything's left traffic. Okay, so I think we should do a straight-in landing on 1-4. Let's do that. Let's do a straight-in landing on 1-4. All right. We'll assume the pattern's 1-4 today, and we're going to do a straight-in landing on 1-4. That's what I think. All right. Set heading bug to 140.
Heading bug set to 140 degrees.
Okay. Let's see if we can listen it on ATIS.
Dodge City RGNL weather. Wind calm. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 18. Dew point -15. Altimeter 2939.
Alright, there's no arriving. There's no runway information, so we'll just assume 1-4. Alright, cruising nicely here. Oh, I better switch my tanks. It is nice to have those buttons just to switch the tanks, that's for sure. So it's not a rant on this stick. It's a good stick. It's worth the money. It's just not right for this application. I think you guys get what I'm talking about. Colin, I'm assuming that it's not Orthocenia you're flying? No. This is straight X-plane scenery. Those circles are basically farms. It's a way that they farm, I guess, wheat or corn. They do it in a circle to make it easier to water because the watering, the device they use to water has a pivot in the center, and it just turns around and waters the whole thing. You can see that line there. That would be the watering device. So they grow things in a circle. Yeah, it's probably corn, right? Because I think we're over in Nebraska. I'm not sure. Or maybe we're still over Kansas. It's all corn, pretty sure. But in ortho, it would be, you'd probably see the real farms, which would be cool. Let's do a flyby. I like the flyby. That's how fast we're flying. Pretty damn fast. All right, we're 15 minutes out, making good time. 147 knots. I didn't trim it out, so we're eating up gas. I always say trim, lean it out. I didn't lean it out. So we're going to do straight into 1-4, so which means we're going to do a, we'll go to the north about 3 miles north of the airport, and then we'll enter in. I should say, let's see, it's 140, right? So it's like the westerly, northwesterly kind of vector, if you will. All right, cool. Making good time. Dodge City, 2 more stops, and one of those stops we're going to make a little money on, which is good. Well, you learn something every day. No need for that over here. Yeah, you have enough rain. Yeah. Yeah, this area of the country sometimes has some rain issues. But it's really an ingenious way to do it because you have this. What it is this. You can probably look it up online. It's this big It's this big like rail of for irrigation, and it's got a center point that goes right in that center, and it's got wheels all around. You can see those circles, all those target circles, if you will. Those are, I guess, where the wheels would be, and it just basically just keeps going around and around and around and watering it. So. I mean, you don't get to use the corners, so you probably lose about 20% of your land, but it's a more efficient way to irrigate, so it's probably a good trade-off. Well, you got some interesting terrain change up there. I can see it. So probably about 15 miles north or west of here. Let's check one thing. So, Colin, I take it that you fly in VR, right? I think if I didn't ask you that before, I apologize. All right, we are up to 67 members. Very nice. That's awesome. All right, let's just check Dodge City. It's 1-4. Yeah, 1-4 is a longer runway, right? Let's just see there. All right. And we'll stop quick and we'll just take off the same way. I do like Flight Plan Go, man. It's an awesome tool. It's free. It's completely free, which is great. You have X-Plane and Oculus Rift. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I thought I remembered you saying that. Hard to remember everybody, you know. 9,000 people, actually. I probably think about 2,000 of them are X-Plane enthusiasts, I would say. I have a lot of people on the channel that are into some of the other simulation games that I play, but not that X-Plane's a game. It's not a game. Not a game. Oh, X-Plane's not a game. Don't ever say it's a game. Especially on Facebook, people will start to they'll roast you if you call X-Plane a game. Every once in a while, like in the X-Plane groups or on Reddit or something like that, someone says, "How do you play the X-Plane game?" And everybody's like, "It's not a game." It's like, give the guy a break. He doesn't know, right? People are new and they think it's a game. They think of it as a computer game. We know it's not. We know that it's a flight simulation system. Gives it a little bit more intellectual value and panache, if you will. But you know, most people who don't understand that think of it as a PC game, right? So it's kind of funny when someone makes that mistake. All right, so we'll report we're 20 miles out. We're going to do straight in landing runway 14. I guess we could enter on the left crosswind, right? Yeah, I guess we could enter on the left crosswind. Is that acceptable? Would that be... Yeah, we're entering on the left crosswind. Let's do... Or we could enter on the left base. Let's do that. That's what we're entering. We're entering on the left base. Yeah, let me get that straight. So we're going to enter on the left base, because it is a left pattern, for runway 14. That makes sense. You have an expired PPL license, have flown sims for years. VR is just superb, closest to the real thing so far. Yeah, it just needs to be clear. I'm hoping with X-Plane native VR that changes and gets a little clearer. But I'm always thrilled to hear when a real-world pilot says that VR is amazing or superb or so much like the real thing, because that makes me feel like what I'm doing is close to the real thing, and it's positive experience for whenever I, am able to work on getting a private pilot's license. I'll know the time that I spent in VR and simulation will be helpful. So when I hear guys like you say that it's superb and that it's a lot like the real thing or closest to the real thing, that's pretty cool to hear, I would say that it may even be closer to the real thing than like a three panel, or like maybe not a sim that you're in that's moving up and down, a commercial sim, but even that's like 2D, right? It's not really 3D. The difference with VR is that when you look down, you feel like you're 4,000 feet up, right? You don't get that sense, I think, in a cockpit simulator. Although I've never been in one. Have I flown a real plane? No, I've never flown a real plane. I've flown hundreds of hours in a VR plane, in VR planes, I should say. But no, I've never flown a real plane. I'm gonna probably take a flight lesson, introductory flight lesson, at some point. I'm not sure when, but that's in the plans to do. So, yeah, that would be really cool to do. All right, let me see where we are here. We're 20. Where are we flying? What the hell's the name of this place again? Dodge City, right? Dodge City traffic. Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are 20 miles east of the airport. We'll be entering on the left base for runway 14. Full stop. Dodge City. Yeah, I would like to have an introductory flight lesson to try, just to fly. For me, it'd probably be a Cessna 172, which isn't the the most, I guess, the it's not the greatest plane, but it's plane that a lot of people learn on. You'll find a real plane easier than the sim, even in VR. Wow, really? Okay. I guess because like it's not as squirrely as a sim plane can be, and like you don't. When I say squirrel, I mean when you're in a sim plane, you have no feeling of the weight of the plane or the gravity, the G-forces, the kinetic energy as the plane's moving. None of that. You don't have any of that feeling really in VR. And when you're in the plane, you kind of have all that, which probably makes it, because you're connected with the vehicle, if you will. Aircraft, it gives you a better sense of controlling it, I guess. But it's like driving a car, right? Driving a real car is easier, I think, than driving a car in Project Cars. So it's probably the same kind of thing. All right, where are we? 15 miles. That was quick. Dodge City traffic. Cirrus 328 Tango Delta. We are 15 miles east of the airport. Be entering on the left base for full stop landing runway 14, Dodge City. All right, I guess we could start slowing her down. Let's do a gump. So gas is, I want to be on the left tank, which I am. Undercarriage is welded. Mixture is in, and prop we don't have to worry about. So good to go. We'll start slowing the plane down a little bit here. And after this, one more short little flight to pick up a little bit of money. And then that'll be it for this one. We'll be that much closer. We'll be 238 miles closer to Las Vegas. And subsequently Los Angeles. I do have to get someone to fly this crated plane up over to Hawaii for me from LAX. It's going to cost me about $7,000 to crate it up, and I think it's like 970 kilograms. So, need a plane that can fly. You know, it's a 2,500-mile trip, so I need a plane that can fly 3,000 miles, that can carry, you know, 1,000 kilograms and fly 3,000 miles to get there. So, that'll be the goal. All right, we are just about 10 miles out. Dodge City traffic, Cirrus SR20 Takeoff Delta. We are just about 10 miles east of the airport at 4,000. We'll be entering on the left base for runway 14, full stop landing, Dodge City. All right. See if we can zoom in and find the airport. I think I see it. Again, another airport without any structure, which makes it difficult to pick out, but that's okay. All right, let me get one more look at chat, and then we'll see. You don't get any positive, negative G's, right? Yeah, well, you can make them float around in the cockpit if you've got an iPad, right? It can float on your lap with like a ForeFlight, right? All right, let me get down to business here. If I remember, I'm going to try to describe landing with this stick. So, maybe a failed experiment, but... All right, let's take it off autopilot. I'm going to give myself a little room. Enter on the left base. I think my airport's over there. I got it on the map. It's the blue line. It's a blue button that's right on the red line there, so. Should be right over there. Let me see if I can zoom in and catch her. I think I see it. All right, let's get there. Just trying to take a like a little bit northern flight pattern here so I can just pick up some space to do my final turn. Then I'll use the heading bug to get perpendicular. And it'll be good to go. As I climb up when I shouldn't be climbing. Yeah, it's more like playing a game with this stick versus really flying. So I think it's going to be back to the yoke. And I'll use this for gliders. Where's my airport? Where's my airport? Oh, there it is. Dodge City traffic, Cirrus SR20 Delta turning final, runway 14, full stop, Dodge City. All right, so we kind of overshot it there, so I had to make a change. See how that nose comes up? I don't think that's right in real life. Like I said that before. When you hit the flaps. Although I know I'm hitting them a little fast. I'm purely stopping here to pick up some passengers. That's the only reason why. Just to make a little bit of money. Pay for gas. Although gas is not that expensive. I probably should just have flown straight. Because, I mean, gas is only like, you know, 50 bucks or whatever. So, yeah, I would, right now, I would be yoking all over the place to keep this thing on the straight and narrow. And this is just, because it holds its position, it's easier. Just easier. Oh, I don't want to stall, baby. Don't stall. Don't stall. That wasn't the greatest landing. That wasn't the greatest landing. I kind of went a little slow there. That was not the greatest landing. Set parking brake.
Brakes set.
All right, mixture off. Key off. Turn all this stuff off. And the last one, boom. All right, good. Okay. Let me just save the FSEconomy. Gotta end the flight. All right, so now it puts me there, and now I got my passengers to Garden City. So I gotta rent the plane again. Oh, it's already got me the plane. 18 gallons. I'm gonna refuel. I'll put the 40 in it again. Why not? I'm gonna be using it, so. All right, we got 40 gallons in it, and you guys can't see this, but I'm just doing my FSEconomy thing. 40 gallons, 3 passengers, make a little bit of money. All right, good. Jappy, how you doing? Stream was great so far. I'm finished. I'm on the last leg of the flight, and only got about 37 miles to go to finish this one. So, Colin, where in the States am I based? I'm in the Northeast. Rather not say exactly where I am, but I'm in the Northeast. In the the Northeast area. Yeah, that wasn't. You know what? That wasn't the best landing. I kind of almost stalled out there, which was not good. So, but let's get this thing started up. So, mixture to full. Throttle at 25. Let's get where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? There it is. Batteries are on, and clear prop, and starter up. All right, alternators on, avionics on, lights are on, computer heat on. Oops, back. And the flight plan, we're going to... Oh, I got to do that. Okay, so that didn't pick up the next leg. Why is that? I'm at Dodge City, aren't I? It didn't pick up the next leg, so I have to go to... All right, so this is going to be interesting. Just go back here. Oops, sorry, guys. All right, so I'm going to have to go flight plan. Where's flight plan? And I've never done this before, so I have to... Shit. Let's see, where's menu? Menu. Delete flight plan, delete the end, reverse flight plan. That's not what I want to do. Not sure why it didn't pick up. Let's see, what else can I do here? Give me where's the cursor? Cursor? Cursor work? Shoot. Shoot. Well, what I could do is I could just fly there. It's only 27 miles. I could use the or 37 miles. I could let me just see here. I don't understand why I can't use the cursor. this is it. Is this it? Nope. That's not it. That sucks. I want to go to the next leg. That's all I want to do is go to the next leg. So if I go to flight plan, what's this leg? And it's got me, I should be at DCC, so I want to go to the next leg. No procedures available. Wrong nav data. Okay, that's not good. All right, let's go. This is not good. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't know why I'm not getting a cursor. Doesn't give me a cursor. Push for cursor, right? So you push the button. Doesn't let me put. Oh, it's very picky. It's very picky. There we go. All right, so I should be able to, there we go, good. All right, I want to delete this one. So menu. Delete flight plan, no. Delete to end, no. I can't delete leg. Well, that's not good. Can't delete a leg. All right, we're gonna have to wing it. I know you shouldn't wing it, but I'm gonna have to wing it because I don't feel like creating a new flight plan. I know where I'm going. I'm going to Garden City. And maybe it'll change once I take off. Maybe. Because this should say DCC to Garden City or the next leg. So, anyway, let me make sure I got my FSEconomy loaded up, which I do. You have a buddy in NJ, and we fly out of Monmouth. Yeah, I know where Monmouth is, in a 172. Cool. Oh, regularly. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, Monmouth is, I know where that is, in New Jersey. All right, so I'm going to basically fly west, pick up this vector. Hopefully it'll change when I do that, and then take it from there. So here we go. Flaps to 1. Let's do it. Oh, run out of runway. And come on. Oh, no, we got plenty of runway. And rotate. Come on. There we go. All right. Let's get it up to 85. We can turn the flaps off. We're going to turn to the west. Let's get our flaps up. Oh, beautiful. It picked up the flight plan. Okay, I just had to take off. Okay. all that for nothing. So we're good here on the flight plan. So I'm going to go back up to 4,000. Let me cancel the flight director though. Autopilot on. Nav. And let's get the vertical 1, 2, 3, and we put the vertical on. All right. Should climb up to 4,000 or 4,030 and level off. Beautiful. So that worked out okay. It's a very quick trip, 26 miles. We'll keep her rolling quick here. But let's listen to ATIS. Oh wait, we gotta set the frequencies. Damn. Alright, frequencies. SETCOM 1 to 118.15.
COM1 set to 118.15.
SETCOM 2 to 121.32.
COM2 set to 121.32.
Now this is a towered airport, so I'm just going to treat it as if it's a CTAP. I'm going to land at on 17. All right, we'll just do the same thing. We'll come in the left base and land at 17. Set heading bug to 170.
Heading bug set to 170 degrees.
Keep it simple. Because we don't have, I'm not using ATC, don't have the tower and all that, so let's just see, what's our elevation? 2891. All right, we should be good. We don't have any mountains in the way or anything. So we should be good to go. Good to go. All right, so anybody new? Let's see. Gave myself some popcorn and now enjoying the stream. Good. Glad to hear that, Jappy. So if you're just joining the stream, I know you were here before, but if you're just joining the stream or you didn't hear me talk about it, I want to talk about it again. It's a group on Facebook that I put together. Actually, the name for the group came from Donovan Young, right there, who's one of my Patreon subscribers. He got his name on the wing for being an ace-level subscriber. But Donovan came up with the name VR Aviators, and we've got a Facebook group called the VR Aviators Group. Search it on Facebook. There's a link in the description. Easy to join up, and what it is, it's basically a place for virtual reality enthusiasts. And it's my plane levels off here, which is nice. I love the way the autopilot's working. VR enthusiasts, and basically PC-based VR systems. So whether you have an Oculus Rift or HTC Vive or whatever other headset, or whether you're using P3D, X-Plane, FSX, Aerofly, whatever, as long as it's we're going to be talking about flight sims that are VR, work in VR, either third party or native, and are using obviously VR headsets. So I think we've got like close to 70 people, and like maybe I guess it's been close to 2 weeks now, which is pretty good. So and as I said before, I really believe that the interest in VR flight simming is going to kick up quite a bit. So anyway, let me do my announcement here. Garden City, Cirrus SR20 Tango Delta. We are 19 miles east of the airfield. We'll be entering on the left base for runway, full stop landing runway 17, Garden City. I know it's not a towered airport, but I'm treating it as untowered. But I'm treating it as if it's a non-towered. Anyway, VR Aviators Group. Check it out on Facebook. Please join it if you're interested in VR. Even if you're not doing it and you want to learn about it, it's a good place to come and ask questions about it. Because everyone in there, many of the people in there are VR flyers already. In fact, that's what I wanted to call it, and that's a lame name. Thankfully Donovan came up with VR Aviators, because it's a much better name. But in any event, virtual reality aviators, come and join us. Check it out. Some good people in there, some good knowledge. If you want to just learn about it, it's a great place to do that. So please check it out. And also, I wanted to mention that, I forgot to mention this before, I'd like to see if we could do some group flights, whether we do those in FSX or we do them in Pilot Edge in X-Plane 11. That's probably be preference for me, but it'd be kind of cool to do a VR group flight where all of us are in VR, right? And we're flying, and you know, probably do like non-towered to non-towered flights in Pilot Edge, something like that, you know, or Catalina or something cool. Plan something like French Valley to Catalina, something cool like that. And we'll do some flights, or even if it's just patterns and stuff, it'd be kind of cool to do. So I want to try to do stuff like that to get the community together and flying together and talking, and we can have our CTAF going. Then I have Discord set up for Bambino Games. So if you join that, and we're flying group flight, we could set up a audio channel, audio server, and we can talk on there or whatever. So be kind of cool to do. All right. So any event, VR Aviators Group on Facebook. Check it out, and you just have to answer a simple question to get in. Anybody that knows anything about flight simulation will be able to answer the question, or you can just Google it and answer the question. Okay, but just want to make sure that we're not getting spammers and stuff in the group. So, and not restrictive rules. You know, we're going to be, you know, it's everyone can talk and you can post stuff as long as it's, you know, follow the rules on the posting. I've got those listed there. We don't want to get crazy, make it an advertising haven. That's not really what it's about. It's more about promoting VR flight. So anyway, check it out. All right, so we're 12 miles out. Start slowing the plane down here a little bit. Oh, wait, we're going to make a turn first. Never mind. Yeah, so we're going to make a turn. I forgot about that. Okay, so we're making a turn at Orca. And we should have a straight flight in, not to 17. Sorry, my bad. My bad on that. See, I didn't even look at my flight plan. We're landing on 30, I think. Yeah, we're going to land on 30. All right. So we're landing on 30. And I think that a marker puts us, oops, let me get back to maps. I think that turn puts us at 10 miles out, I believe. Let's look here. Yeah, I think it's 10 miles out, or 7 miles out. But we'll figure that out. All right, cool. Just to get that straight. Let's see. Do they have multiplayer in X-Plane? Yeah, I think they do. I've never used that. The multiplayer I use is Pilot Edge because they've got air traffic control and stuff. So that's what I'm using for multiplayer, if you will. All right, so the plane's going to turn itself, which is nice. And then we can start on descent. I'm not used to doing that. I do that a lot when I'm in the B1900D because it takes a lot longer to slow that plane down. The procedures for landing are longer. You need longer. Like, you know, I have it basically turning 10 miles out, and then I hand fly it in from like about 3 miles out when I'm in the B1900D. This plane's a little different, but it's the first time I don't really use vectors here because most of the time I'm landing at non-towered airports, so I don't really use GPS, or I should say waypoints. That's what I meant, not vectors, waypoints. All right. So we got a little bit of a ways here. So yeah, check out the VR Flight Simulator, a VR Aviators Group. Please check that out. Eagerly awaiting X-Plane 10, X-Plane 11.10. I don't know why they put the 10 there. Just call it .1, right? X-Plane 11.10, but I'll call it that because that's what everybody calls it. When it comes to GA, hopefully that'll be in at least a couple of weeks. It's been in beta for 3 weeks. Resisted going to beta, even though I really want to try out the G1000 and the Cessna. But I've resisted going to installing the beta. I just don't want to take the chance of screwing stuff up. So All right, let me check one thing here, guys. Get a drink of water. We're gonna end up making a decent amount of money. We've already made like $2,000, and we'll probably make another 1,500. So we'll probably make about 3,500. Not bad. It's more than gas money. I'm gonna need 7,000 to crate this thing up, so we'll need a little bit of that money. But in any event. Here's our turn. All right, let's see where we are here. 10 miles out. We're landing at 30, right? Garden City traffic, Cirrus SR20 takeoff out till we are 10 miles east of the airport for straight-in landing on runway 30, Garden City, at 4,000 feet. Alrighty. Let me see if I can see the airport. Yep, there it is. This should be an easy landing. Have to go to the left a little bit. It's right there. Again, no structure, which sucks. Report at 5. At 5 we'll take it off and we'll start to get our way in there. Try to make this a better landing this time. Garden City traffic, Cirrus SR20 takeoff until we are 5 miles east of the airport on straight-in landing. Runway 30, full stop, Garden City. All right, let's bring her in. All right, let's see. Okay. Gas, we want to be on the right tank. So let me get to that right there, right tank. Undercarriage is welded. We don't have to worry about that. Mixture is in and prop. We don't have to worry about that. So let's get our flaps to 1. There we go. See, I should really be slower when I put the flaps on. Full flaps. Let's bring her in, baby. A little fast. But much better speed than before. Coming down to 79, hopefully. Here we go. And we'll just flare her out and throttle down. That was better. Alright, we'll let her run out. Flaps up. I don't see any place to taxi here, so I guess we'll just stop in the middle of this stupid runway. Oh, we can taxi over there. All right, here we go. End our flight by properly exiting. I wish they would fix the brakes on these. So touchy on this plane. All right, we're clear. Garden City traffic, Cirrus 32 Tango Delta, we are clear, runway 30, Garden City. All right, what do you say we stop right here, guys? Set parking brake.
Brakes set.
All right. Mixture off. Key off. Beautiful. Well, wondering what that humming was. All right, so that shuts the plane down. Let's just do this. Let me go here. I'm going to go to FSEconomy. You guys can't see this, but FSEconomy. Finish flight. All right, now. Okay, Colin, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks. It was nice talking to you. All right, let's go to, I appreciate you definitely appreciate the information too. All right, so let's just see where we are here. So that flight's terminated. So let's go to log. And we made, let's see, 23, 16. Yeah, so about almost $4,000. That's not bad. Pretty good. With 4,800 total revenue, we ended up about $4,000, so that's not bad. And now our plane's in Garden City. So that's about going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys checking out the stream. Look forward to the next flight. We're going to be going probably, let me just pull this up here again and show you. We'll probably be going, we're here at Dodge City now. Dodge City to, what is this? Double Eagle? Dodge City to Double Eagle. But I'm going to see if we can catch some, you know, this is a big one, 238. So we may stop like here in the middle or something like that, just to break up the trip a little bit. But that's the next step. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Bambino Games and hit the little bell icon so you get a notification when I'm going to stream. All right? Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.